Hello, 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 everyone. Thanks for joining me tonight. I'm going to just hang out here for a few seconds and chat in hopes that some of you will pop on. Please make sure that you leave a comment so that I know that you're joining me tonight. If you are joining me from afar, please make sure that you let me know where you're located. So today's been sort of a crazy day. Ran to the grocery store earlier this morning and picked up a few items and came home and tried to get all of this technology set up, ready to go. And then about 6:30, everything started freezing up. So we'll see how this goes. But thanks in advance for joining me tonight. And hopefully we will have fun together. So leave me a comment and let me know what you've been up to on this Monday. I have card classes this week in the studio and next week in the studio as well. So I've been scurrying around getting bits and pieces cut for that. And fortunately, I have a sister who lives about 8 minutes from here, and she spends her time in the studio with me, cutting things and helping me in every way that she can. Hey Deb, thanks for letting me know that I'm good to go. Like I said, this has been crazy. About 6:30, everything just started freezing up, and it was crazy. So not sure how long this is going to actually work for tonight, but I'm going to give it my best shot. So Deb, I know that you've had a busy day, and I hope that you are able to put your feet up and relax for a little bit. Hey Sandy, thanks for joining. I appreciate both of you as I try to learn how to navigate this whole stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So Deb is joining me from Locust Grove, Virginia, and Sandy is joining me from Chesapeake, Virginia. And Sandy's going to be moving a little bit closer in the not too distant future, so I'm excited about that. So I just want to welcome you to my little bit of Heaven at 7, where I hope to inspire you to get out your inks, your paper, your glue, your stamps, and create something that you can give to someone to bring joy to their lives, whether it be a friend or a husband or a son or a daughter. Hopefully you will get some inspiration from me. If nothing else, I'm happy with that. So I am Bonnie Johnson. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am located in a teeny tiny town called Carsville, Virginia. And I am about an hour from Virginia Beach. So many of you probably have never heard of that. Hi Sharon, I'm sorry that you don't have a picture. Deb and Sandy, let me know if the picture is coming through okay with for you. So I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for about 5.5 years. And the only bad part of being a demonstrator is that I didn't do it sooner. So I've met some awesome people as a demonstrator, and I've got to go to lots of different events and conventions. So it's been one of the best things that I have done. So, okay, hold on. Can you see me now? Oh, I'll just start all over. That's because I forgot to switch the screen. Thanks, Deb, for letting me know that that was the only thing you saw. So, girls, chime in and let me know that you're actually seeing my face at this point in time. I worked really hard to get to look this good today, so I want to make sure that you see me. Thanks, Deb and Sharon. Like I said, leave me a comment to let me know that you're watching, and if you like and share the video, I will put your name in a drawing for 3 of the samples that I'm going to show you tonight, and you have until tomorrow night at 9 o'clock to share. And I'll know that you've shared when you put it in the comments. So hopefully this is being streamed to my Facebook business page in addition to my YouTube channel. So thanks, Betsy. I do have a consultant, so she works miracles. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started because I really don't want to keep you for more than an hour, but hopefully I can be your little bit of Calgon that takes you away. Hey, Kathy, thanks for joining me. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you know, actually I was talking with my daughter today, and she was telling me that Target and Walmart already have their Valentine things on sale. And I guess it's that time of the year because Stampin' Up is also having a huge sale. And this is their annual celebration. So what you do is you spend $50 or $100 and you get certain items in the celebration brochure free. So I was thumbing through here this morning and I ran across, I think there are 13 different things. If you don't have a hard copy of the brochure, you can find it online, and you can go to my store at Bonniejohnson.Stampin'Up.net, and you'll see it there. So it's certainly worth taking a look at. There's some really awesome products in this catalog, and the papers in here really are to die for. So like that's not good enough. And see, now my screen is frozen. If that's not good enough, I'm going to go ahead and do this since apparently my screen is frozen again. That's not good enough. Stampin' Up has added 10 more products to the celebration, and the celebration runs through the end of February. And again, they don't have any printed publication for this, but you can find it online. One of my favorite things is the Delightfully Eclectic Designer Series paper. And this is a free pack of paper if you spend $50 in the online store. And there are 48 sheets of paper in this pack. So I placed an order today, and I actually ordered 3 of these packages simply because the paper, and I'm going to see if I can do this. Don't know if I can. The paper right here is very versatile, and I know that I'm going to be using it a lot of that. So there. Oh, I'm back. I'm sure it's momentary, but we will just go with the flow, and when that happens, I'll just turn the screen back onto my face. So this is part of live streaming. So here we go. And it's frozen again. All right, let me see. Girls, I'm not really sure what is going on here. I just don't think it's worth me trying to go ahead and do this if I'm having trouble with things freezing up, because you won't be able to see me make the cards. So I would love for you to stick around, and we'll see what I can do. If you are not a demonstrator, or you don't have a demonstrator with whom you shop, I would love to be your demonstrator, and I will be more than happy to help you find products that will make your stamping easy. So you can just leave me a note and let me know that you're interested, or if you need a catalog, I'm happy to send you one of those as well. Stampin' Up is also offering their starter kit for $99. You can purchase $125 worth of product, and you get to choose whatever products you want to go in that kit. And you don't have to do classes, you don't have to do events, you don't have to do Facebook or YouTube lives. You can just be a discount shopper. And for the remainder of February, Stampin' Up! Is also offering a free glass mat and a little silicone mat that comes with that, in addition to a different type of chamois. And that's a $60 value that you can include with your starter kit, or you can choose to purchase or have them send you an additional $30 worth of products. So that special is running through the end of February. So let me know if you have any questions about that. And without further ado, we're going to try to get this show on the road. Not making any promises, but here we go. So tonight we're going to use the Let's Go Fishing suite of products. And I'm going to show you how to make 3 cards that are great for a male in your life. It might be your father, it could be your dad or your father-in-law. You may have a son or a son-in-law who might need a Father's Day card or a congratulations card. Maybe they've gotten a new job. But we will be using this stamp set tonight, and there are 16 stamps included in this. And there are 6 different sentiments and a multitude of images. So this is a 2-step stamp. So what you do is you stamp the outline, and then you can add color simply by using the 2-step on top of that outline image. So we will also be using the Gone Fishing dies. And I learned a really cool trick from a fellow demonstrator not too long ago. A lot of us who are demonstrators will choose to put our dies on magnetic boards, and we store them that way. But people who choose not to do that, a good tip for you is to take a pen or a pencil and trace around that die so that after you use it, you'll know exactly where to put it back in place. If you go over to my workspace now, you'll probably see some of mine that are just all in a jumble. And it really is not the best way to store them, but that's just a little tip that might make getting them back into place a little bit easier for you. So something else that I want to show you, we're going to be using the Designer Series paper from that line of from that suite. And this paper really is stunning. And here you see the front of the paper. Here you see my face right now. So here you see the front of the paper. And these fish right here can actually be cut out with the dies, or they are simple to cut with your paper snips. So the back is just as pretty as the front. So here you go. Let's try this. So there's the front. And then if you flip over onto the back, you have these beautiful geometric designs. So honestly, I think the back side is as pretty as the front side. The reason I chose to work with this suite tonight is simply because when I saw this in the catalog, it took me back to my childhood. On Sunday afternoons after church, my dad and I would go to the lake in his John boat, and I remember he would pull up close to shore, and I would throw my line out, and 9 times out of 10, it would get stuck into the trees, or it would get stuck in the stumps. But he was always very patient and helped me untangle that. He would put my worms on my hooks for me, and after he and I would fish for the afternoon, then we would go back into shore, and my mom and my sister and my brother would be there, and we would have a fish fry. So I knew when I saw this set that I needed to get it. And Stampin' Up! Is really good about sort of taking me back to earlier times in my life. And that's just one of the things that I love about Stampin' Up! As a company and their products. So this, the line of products can be found on pages 78 and 79 of the current annual catalog. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and get started and see just how this is going to work for us. So these are the 3 cards that I'm going to show you how to make tonight. And again, if you like and share my video and put in the comments that you've done so, then your name will go in the hat for a drawing, and I will do that by 9 o'clock tomorrow night. Should you decide that you want the materials to make these cards with, they're free. You just would place a $35 order in my online store, and you can find that online store at Bonniejohnson.Stampinup.net. And I ask that you simply use host code that you see there on the camera. You do not have to purchase these particular products. You can purchase anything that you would like. So the first card that I'm going to make tonight is the congrats card. And I'm going to just scoot this off to the side. So if you purchase the kit, this is how it will come to you. You will receive an envelope. You're going to have a card base. You're going to have 2 very vanilla layers. One is for the inside. The other one is to put your strips of Designer Series paper and cardstock on. You're going to receive 5 strips of paper. You will receive a label for your sentiment, and then you will receive 3 fish that I've already cut out for you. So I'm going to show you how to put those things together. And the first thing I like to do is I like to do my stamping and go ahead and get that piece done. So I see that I'm frozen, but if you just hang tight, hopefully it will come back. There you go. So I like to pull this down, and I like to use my grid paper and line it up so that I can make sure my image is nice and straight. And the great thing about these photopolymer stamps is you can see through them. So lining up is a piece of cake. Okay, so there we have congratulations. Thanks, Deb. I love this sweet too, and there's so much that you can do with it. Okay, so that's all the stamping I'm going to do on this particular card. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my paper strips, my strips of Designer Series paper down on my very vanilla layer. And I always like to start at the bottom and the top when I'm working with this. And you can use whichever side you like. This is just my personal preference. So I am going to, let me see if I can make this a little bit closer for you. There you go. So I am going to line this up right with the edge of that very vanilla. And after I get it down, I always like to pick it up and zhuzh it a little bit, like so. So I did the bottom, and now I'm going to do the top, and I love this Designer Series paper that has fishing rods on it. As I got older, we had a saltwater boat, so we would go to larger bodies of water to catch croaker and fish of that nature. Okay, so there you go. So I think that's good to go. Now, for the next ones, what I like to do is I like to place them down here. And this is when your removable adhesive comes in handy. So if you have any at home, that's a great thing to use. And I'm just trying to make sure that I have about the same amount of distance between each one of these strips of paper. So I think that's good. So I'm just going to take this one off. And you don't want it to look too perfect because you want people to know that it was made with love. Okay, so making sure it's nice and straight. And some people like to use the grid lines to make sure that it's just like they want it to be. And then I'll go and I'll do this wild wheat piece of cardstock. So what was something that you all did when you were growing up? What's something that takes you back to your childhood? I know some of you must have gone fishing. Deb, I know you used to go fishing with your dad. Betsy, I bet you did the same. Okay, one final strip to put into place. All right. I think I'm pretty happy with that. So Betsy, I hope that your picture became unfrozen and that you've got sound again. Let me know if you do, please. So then this sentiment strip is just going to get glued down. And I'm going to glue that in the middle. And I just am one of these people that eyeballs things. So these fish were really, really, really easy to fussy cut. And whenever I fussy cut something, I always like to leave a little bit of border around the image because that's how it looks if you use the actual dies that coordinate with it. So I will just use a couple of dimensionals here. And I want this one. There's really no right or wrong place to put these. It's just wherever you like. Just because I do it one way doesn't mean you have to do it that way. So on this one, I'm going to use the large and the small dimensionals because some of these pieces are smaller. I'll put one there, his head. Deb, I know you have your classes coming up pretty soon. What suite are you planning to use when you do your classes? I am actually having a guest in my class next week who is going to show everybody how to make a little tree box. So I'm excited about that. So I will do 2 of these. And then this one, I'm going to come down here. I don't want it to be. I think it's funny that this fish has red lips. Oh, one thing that my mom was adamant about when I was growing up was you never leave the house without lipstick. So not only does this sweet make me think of my dad, but it also makes me think of my mom. So for this, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along the perimeter of that layer. And sometimes I use our multi-purpose liquid glue, but there are times when I also use our seal. Okay, so, and then this piece just gets glued down, and for time purposes, I'm just going to use a little bit of my seal. Sometimes I think it's a little bit faster. The only drawback to this is there's no wiggle room. So once you get it down there, it can be difficult to get up. But I learned a little trick last night when I was watching a video. If you have put something down on your card and it has been adhered with Stampin' Seal, if you can start to peel it away and simply huff on it, that is supposed to loosen it up. So I have not yet tried that, but definitely something that I've had a need for in the past. So here is card number 1, and you saw how quickly that came together. So I did not choose to put any embellishments on this card, but if you have embellishments at home, you're welcome, you know, to use those and make it your own. So that was the first card. And the second card that we're going to be doing is this one right here. And I wanted to make this one a little bit nautical, so I went with the sort of the red, white, and blue on this. It reminds me a little bit of the 4th of July as well. So in this card kit, you will get a card base. Your card base. You're going to get 2 layers of basic white, one for the inside and one for the outside. You will get your denim layer. You're going to get a red strip. You're going to get 3 Night of Navy rectangles and 3 basic white rectangles for stamping on. I chose to use the in color dots, the 2023, 2025 in color dots on my sample. You may already have those in your stash, or you may have something else that you prefer to use. So let me just go ahead and, like I said, I like to do the stamping part first. So I am going to stamp on my, and for this I'm going to use Night of Navy ink, Real Red ink, and Gray Granite ink. So I'm going to stamp, first of all, the lures. At least I think that's what they're called. And it's very important that, for me, when I'm stamping, that I always stamp the dark image first, because sometimes it's hard to see through that. So I'm going to use my Real Red, and I'm going to stamp this 2-step part here. Okay, awesome. And since I have my Real Red, I will go ahead and stamp Real Red. on this one, and I've angled it this way. Just about messed up. Okay, scratch that, Bonnie. This is going to be my real red. Thanks, Betsy. I'm glad you like it. Of course, you don't have to make it congratulations. It can be, you know, a birthday. That works just as well. And then I'm going to do this one. And this one is pretty much up and down. Okay. So I've done all the red stamping. Let me put my real red away. And now I'm going to use my gray granite to do the outlines. Tap, tap, tap. That's what I like to do. There we have one. Pretty good, if I say so myself. Then we're going to do this one. I almost put that one over too far, but it will be just fine. And then I'm going to do this. There we go. So I'm done with my gray granite. Now, this was kind of an after the fact. I realized after I had put it together that I wanted something from that stamp set that I could put on that card. But with this particular design, none of the sentiments would work. So I took the stamp that says, "So glad that you're my dad," and simply inked up just the part that said dad. Let me see if I can zoom you in here a little bit on this. So, and you'll be able to look at it to see if you have ink where it shouldn't go. So you want to put your stamp in the left top corner. And I think that's good. So just going to put this down here. And there you have just the word dad. So I am completely done with my stamping. And I am just going to use a little bit of my Stampin' Seal for this part. And when you do this, the goal is to have the same amount of navy blue around all four sides. Deb, I'm using the Lavender Sweet next week in my class too. So a lot of my girls like purple, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. and I did my online pre-order today, so I'm excited to get those products in. Okay, so I see that I'm frozen again, so I'm just going to keep on going, and hopefully before I know it, it will not be frozen. I'll just talk you through what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my blue layer, and there you go. See, I told you. I'm going to apply that, adhere that to my basic white layer. And I should have like 1/4 inch all the way around. I like to give it a little massage. Then I'm going to put my real red strip down. Thank you, Deb. And I'm just going to eyeball this, and hopefully it's going to be in the center. Okay. Now, these I actually put on with dimensionals. So, just to give it a little bit of oomph. Thanks, Sharon. Sharon, what is it that you like about this card? Is it the colors or the design? Simplicity? Okay, and I am going to start by putting, I like to start in the middle. And again, I'm just going to, let me move this up a little bit. I'm going to eyeball it. And I'm not going to push those down until I make sure that they are in the spots where I want them. I have to wonder if my screen is freezing up because I am streaming to 2 different platforms, but I just don't know. We got new internet service this week, and it's been great so far. Who knows? And then this will get put onto your Night of Navy layer. So if you've never used our stamping seal, there's a real learning curve to it. You just have to learn how to flick your wrist. And then you shouldn't have too many problems with it. And then I'm just going to give it a little massage. And I have the inside layer to do. I thought so too, Betsy. I thought that the red really worked nicely with it. I also like navy and yellow together. So here is the finished card. And I went ahead and put my white layer on the inside. And you know, some of this designer series paper, not specifically this particular one, any of the paper from that suite would look stunning on the envelope flap. So you know, we don't want to forget that. And I also used the end color dots here to add a little special touch to it. I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. Just going to put one on each side of that. I like that too. And we have one more card to do tonight. So the last one is a happy retirement card. And hopefully you will be able to get a look at this before too long. So for this one, I'm going to use Misty Moonlight, Pecan Pie, and Gray Granite ink. I'm going to use my Happy Retirement stamp. I'm going to use the bobber thing. Can't even think of the name of it. The lure, and then there's a little bobber. And let's see, we're going to have this and this. Okay, so in your final kit, you will receive these bits and pieces. You're going to get a card base, a pecan pie card base. You'll get 2 very vanilla layers, a layer of DSP, another strip of designer series paper, a piece of very vanilla for stamping and die cutting your images, and a sentiment strip. So the first thing I want to do is stamp my sentiments, and this particular one is going to be a happy retirement. We all know people in our lives who have retired or are going to retire. Maybe you have a friend whose son or daughter is going to retire soon. And I'm going to stamp this down towards the right end of that sentiment strip. Awesome. So I have stamped that. Let me close up my pecan pie. And then I'm going to use my Misty Moonlight to stamp my bobber part. Well, you may as well be watching me. I'll give you something to look at least. And Sharon, I've switched the camera over. Can you see me? Or is it still frozen? Okay, so then I will use the gray granite to outline these. Woohoo! All right. Oh, me. I did not leave much room there. Well, you know what? That was really, really bad. But I think it's going to be just fine. Oh, let's see, and that one's going to go like there. I'm going to actually do that one over because I didn't like that. Let's see what I can do here. So much better. All right, so let me put my inks away. Clean off my stamps. I hope I've inspired you, Deb. It's one of those sets that once you start playing with it, I think it's going to be difficult to stop. Okay, so for this card, we are going to use the cut and emboss machine, and I like to have my mini up here. And I have my plates. Right here. And sometimes using the plates on your mini can be a little bit tricky. So what you have to do is you have to offset the base plate and that first acrylic plate. So I am going to, and let's see, my intent was to run it through one time, but since I had to redo that, I will be having to run it through 2 times. And I am going to hold this in place with a Post-it note. Maybe the replay of this will be okay. You should be able to watch it on my YouTube channel, Craft and Create with Bonnie. I'm not sure if it's going to be frozen on there. I just don't know. So it'd be real easy for me to say, well, I'm not going to do this anymore because it doesn't work. But we shall see. Okay. So let me put these back there. Put my cut and cross machine up. There. I have this. Put that in the trash. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to glue the blue piece that resembles water down on my Designer Series paper that has fishing lures on it. And again, I'm just going to eyeball it because that's pretty much what I do. Like I said, the only thing that's different is that I have attempted to stream to my Facebook business page and my YouTube channel at the same time. So I don't know if that's where the issue is coming from, but this might be the last time I do that. Oh, hey! Okay, so now I'm going to glue this fishing lure down with a little bit of glue. And I'm just going to put that like right there. And then the bobber I'm going to put on with a couple of dimensionals. And I'm going to put this on here at an angle. Like so. Let me move you in here a little bit. And then this is going to get glued down onto the very vanilla layer. So when you're using the Stampin' Seal, what you do is you just, and then go right back with your wrist. And that keeps the sticky part from wrapping back around on itself. So, should be easier to use. Like I said, there is definitely a learning curve. Okay, so the goal is to have the same amount of perimeter all the way around. Give it a gentle massage. And burnish this. That always makes the card lay nicer. And then this gets put on to the card base. It is cute, isn't it, Sharon? And then you have your inside layer where you can write your heartfelt sentiment or use a stamp from the Gone Fishing stamp set or one that you have in your stash. Give it a little massage. And then I'm going to add a few embellishments. I'm going to go with the boho blue, perhaps. And then I will just I'll do a large one up here. I think I'll just, and then I'll do a medium down here. Just go right there. Oh. And then I'll do a teeny tiny one right up here. And there you have the final of the 3 cards. So let me just clean this up for a second and get right back to you. So if you order the kit, simply spend $35 in my online store before shipping and taxes. You'll get enough materials to make 2 of each of the 3 types of cards. Now, I can't do any of the stamping for you per Stampin' Up policy, but I can cut the paper for you. When there are pieces that need to be embossed, I can do that as well. I can't die cut these because these need to be stamped first. So if you choose to purchase the kit and spend $50 in my online store, you still get enough materials to make all 6 of these cards. Plus, I'm going to throw in a pack of the opaque faceted gems, which come from Celebration. So if you spend $35, it might be worth the extra time and energy to bump that up to $50 so that you can choose a free item from the Celebration brochure. So that's it for tonight. Not exactly how I wanted it to be, but it is what it is, and I appreciate you taking time out of your busy evening to spend a little bit of time with me. And again, please make sure that you like and share the video once you see the replay to see if